Alright, let's have a go at People Person now. The intro on the actual recorded version is just twice, but you might want to extend this round. The way I do it is I normally just keep playing the same two things that I do on the recorded one, round and round, until I hear the count of 1, 2, 3, 4 into the verse. So this starts with just using a banjo roll, and that is hybrid picking. So we're using our plectrum on the G string and then our fingers on the B and the E. And all I'm doing is first finger there on the 5th fret of the G, keep the B and the E open, and what I'm doing is I pick that G and I hammer on to the 6th fret. Like so. So we start with that, and it goes into this lick where it's not too dissimilar to the solo in Office Party, and that's just three hammer on to 3/5 on the low E, and again there on the A, slide up to the 7th, and then double stops on the G and B string, 8, 7, 5, get a little bend on that 5, and then finish on the 7th of the D. Like that. That's the first time. Second time, back to the banjo roll. And then we're going to do country style movements in fifths going up the fretboard. So that's going to be using the G and the high E string. Like that. I can't actually remember exactly what frets I use, but you're just moving up the scale. So it starts off, although we're using an A major there, when I go to the 5th movements I'm actually using the scale of A minor. So it's just like 5 and 5 on the B, 5 and 5 on the G and the E, 7 and 7, 9 and 8, and then 12 and 12. So altogether that intro goes. So I just keep doing those two, mixing it around until I get the count. Into the verse, when there aren't vocals, so it's like a break, what I'm doing is I'm going so that's that first bit's all on the G and B string. We've got 14 and 14. Slide it up to God, what fret is that? 15, 16, 17, 18 and 17. And then what we do is we're hammering on to the 19th fret on the B string. We do that twice. Once we've done it twice, we then do the little rundown. So again, 14 and 14, down to 13, 12 to 11, 10. And then barring across the D, the G and the B, we go 5, 7, thumb on the top there on the 5th of the high E. So that's for the bits where there aren't vocals. When there are vocals, obviously the first bit's a bit different because we completely drop out and then we come back in with. And then what I'm down here. So we're doing exactly the same thing, but just the octave lower. So this is now 2nd fret, up to 6 and 5, hammer onto the 7th. So exactly the same as we're doing up here, we've just taken it down the octave. And then that little walk down, 2 and 2, onto the D and the G string, and it's 6 and 4. 6 and 4 down to 4 and 2. And we still do that bit. I fucked it, but you get the idea. So those are the verses. Chorus I do pretty much fuck all on. I normally just hit going into the chorus, you know, once we've done the as we go into it, I just hit a single A chord, let that ring over. For the first chorus I just do that once, and then it's back into the high pitched riff and then into the verse again. And then the second chorus I hit that again, let it ring out, and then because it's a double chorus, as it comes around again I just take it up the octave and do an A major fret from the 12th fret there, let that ring out. Then we go into the solo. The solo starts the same as the intro with those banjo rolls, so I won't go over that because we've got that at the beginning of the video. But and then we go into the actual main bit of the solo. Feel free to improvise on this. I mean, I don't do the same all the time, but what I do, starting off, I do that double stop thing, but up the octave here. I've got to try and remember how it goes. So that's the first bit. We've got the double stop. So that is 17, 18, 19, 20, 19, 17. And that's just on the G, that little bit. That's just on the 19 of the D, 15 of the G. That bit is 17 and 19 of the G. Bend up. So that's bending up on the G on the 19th. Pinch the 20th fret of the B string with your little finger. Bend down. So that whole thing all around. Like so. And then the next bit is it's just sliding up on the B and the high E up to the 17th fret. So what I'm doing there is just walking down the scale. I don't have a set pattern for that. It could just be, say, on the B string, 17, 15, 14 onto the G, 14, 12. As long as you end on that 14 there. That's the whole thing altogether. And then we go into the outro. We build it up a bit live, so I just start by just going, and that's just barring across the D, the G and the B on the 14th fret, up to the 17th, to the 12th. Give it a little whammy or something like that. And as we're building it up, then I start picking the notes. And then as we build it up some more, some strumming. This one's a little bit more staccato. Build it up a little bit more, a bit more legato now. And then that takes us into the big outro. And all I'm doing there is I'm just on the A chord. I've hit on turbo distortion, I'm just going. And so that is whatever song we were doing.